Boom. You say he's just a friend, and you say he's just a friend. Oh, baby, you got what I need. You say he's just a friend, just a friend. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you all to the Hope Romantic M.A.N. podcast. I'm your host, Dropping Dimes, a.k.a. the Hope Romantic, a.k.a. the Feminist and Chauvinist tendencies. Today's episode is all about friendship. They say love is friendship set on fire. And if that's the case, why is the most populated place on earth the friend zone? After talking to a lot of people, I've come to a realization. The truth is that many of your soulmates, especially those that are, oh, I wish, and oh man, I need a man, and there's no good men out there. For many of you, the man of your dreams is sitting right below your nose, and he's in the friend zone. You see, the universe hasn't put you through everything you need to go through yet. It hasn't taught you the lessons. It hasn't basically put you through the wash so that you realize and stop chasing what you want and accept what you deserve. You know, the friend zone is a funny place. When I talk to men and women, um, one of the things I notice is the difference between the two situations. What the friend zone means to a man and what the friend zone means to a woman. The friend zone to a woman is very solid. How do I say? You are my friend. At some point in time, according to a timeline, I may look at you differently for after some time has passed over some a situation or something can change my mind where that has changed. But initially, when you're my friend, you are my friend. I'm not attracted to you. I don't necessarily want you. I don't want you. I'm not I'm not a fan of yours like that. I'm more so just a friend. Okay. And, not to say that later on, like I said, later on, things may change, people mature, people grow up, people evolve, and all of a sudden you revisit a situation, you say, oh, okay, I no longer look at this person like a friend. Now I look at them as more than that. On the flip side of that, you have men where um, we tend to have boxes in our head. All right. And I always hate saying this because it sounds so like misogynistic. It sounds so whatever. But I could lie to you, right? I could lie to women and tell them and not tell them the truth, or I could sit here and I can tell you the truth. When it comes to men, we put you in boxes. There's a lot of different boxes. There's everything from even within the friend zone, there are boxes. There is the sister box. The sister box is the ultimate friend zone box that says, I wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole. I wouldn't hit you. I wouldn't have sex with you with his dick and somebody else pushing. That's what that says. That's the sister zone. Then there's a zone right outside of that. My bestie, my friend. Oh, that's my girl. Yeah, my friend, my friend, my friend. But because she's not in the sister zone, if she were to slip, mess up, give you the pass, there's a good chance you would hit that. There's actually a very good chance you would hit that. And you don't necessarily want to be with them, whatever. But the sex itself would you would take the dive, you would take the dip. You know what I mean? And then there's the bullshit. There's the I never really wanted to be your friend. I just had to figure out how I could be in your life box. So what I decided to do was I decided to take the friend angle. I want to be your buddy. I'm your bestie. I will tell you what's right. I'll tell you what's wrong. Oh, you're feeling anxious? Oh, you're feeling mad? You're upset? Something's up? I got you. Oh, what do you need? And they go out of their way and they're helping you and they need you and they're there for you. And now my question to the audience is it foul play to take the friend route? Is it foul play to take the friend route, to pretend like you're somebody's friend, like that's what you wanted, and that's all that you wanted when you had ulterior motives? Is that the is that what you wanted? I don't know. I don't know if it's foul. If at the end of it you end up together, I guess it depends, right? But some would say, I've seen it in the past, right, where guys, they use that. They say, I'm your best friend, I'm your buddy. Here's where they go wrong. That woman, that girl, now puts down her guard around you, and she entrusts you with secrets, and she talks to you about, you know, really dark stuff and things that are real to her, right? Things that if you had a romantic involvement, maybe take a little more time to come out because she's guarded and she's afraid that you know what I mean? Like, it's so funny because on the grand scheme of things, this is how you would want it. You would want it where you had that intimacy first, that sharing, that closeness, that honesty first, and then the sexual relationship, then the sexual part of it and the connection. But too often people do that backwards. Too often people do it backwards, and what they'll do is they'll find a man and they'll put their guard up and they'll say to themselves, "No, I don't want to reveal too much. I don't want to give too much because I don't trust this person." See, that's where it changes right there. That's where the separation is. When you come in as a friend, there's an automatic trust that people give you. There's a trust that they give you, and they allow you in. And when they allow you in, again, they share things. So the day that you look at them and you say, "Oh, these are what my real feelings are," it feels like a betrayal. It feels like one big lie. It feels like one big con. Oh, so you were conning me that whole time. You didn't really feel like you wanted to know me. You feel like you wanted to be with me, like you needed something from me. It's just a con. It feels deceptive, you know. I say be very, very careful, guys out there. Anybody who's trying that, and I know it's very easy to sink into that. It's very easy to sink into the friend game where you come in and you take care of things, and when she's anxious you soothe her, and when she needs something you're there for her, and when she wants to talk to you at 3 in the morning you're there like a good listener. Yeah, that's great. Essentially that's everything that a boyfriend should be. That's everything that a husband should be, right? A confidant, somebody you can go to, somebody you can rely on, whatever, except the deception. The deception is where you go wrong. The fact that you come in and pretend like it's something it's not. That's not cool. Because like I said, there's things that I'm gonna share right away with somebody who I consider a friend because I trust you. You don't want anything from me, right? You're not gonna hurt me. You can't hurt me. We're friends. Like you're gonna be with me. You're my friend, right? There's nothing romantic here. There's nothing. So I could tell you about this, and that. I could share with you about this, and that. As opposed to, I want something romantic from you. I want a future with you. I want to know if you take me serious. I want to know if this is real. This is a relationship. There's and it's crazy. You'll see it, especially with women. Women will let that person in slowly, but the friend gets all access. And that process right there, the slowly between the all access, is what really kind of drives them crazy because they're like, I gave somebody with ulterior motives that I don't really know now, that I guess I don't know, all access. That vulnerability is scary, man. Because in the wrong hands, it's not cool. You give it to them. You know, essentially, friendship. They say friendship is love is friendship set on fire. I really never knew what that meant. I had no idea what that meant until I met someone that was truly my best friend. They felt like a best friend. It was weird. It was odd. In the past, I've had people, but we're best friends, and I look at them like, no, not I have best friends. And then I never understood when women would tell me that. No, but you're my best friend, and I would look at them like, no, I have, like it just never registered. It never registered, right? Until you meet the one person that not only are they your lover, but somehow, some way, they become your best friend. When you hear something funny, they're the first person you want to call. When you hear a crazy story, they're the first person you think they're not going to believe this. When you hear a joke, the first person you want to tell the joke to. You know what I mean? It's something about laughing together with them. There's something about being with them and sharing time with them that you're like, oh, this is more than just a romantic encounter. This is more than just a physical connection. This is deeper than that. This is friendship. This is that I look at you and I love you beyond this relationship. I love you. I love you to the point where I just want you to be happy and be good in life because you're an amazing person. Because you're fantastic. You know. Too often, I think that that's what's missing in a lot of relationships: the friendship, or or the part of the relationships that we tend not to cultivate is the friendship. I always talk about a man and women will look at each other after being together for a long time, right? And the husband will remember that she is a wife, and he'll remember that she's a mother. A lot of times, what they forget is that she's a woman first. Same vice versa. She'll look at him, and she will see a husband or a father, and she'll forget about the man in him. Well, sometimes let's take it to another level. Sometimes you remember that you guys are a married couple. You guys remember that you're parents. And somewhere along the line, you guys forgot that you were best friends. You forgot that you were best friends because that's where the relationship took its turn. You guys became best friends. That's why you took the next step. That's why you guys bonded. That's why you guys stayed together. That's why you guys built a life together. That's the why. Because she's my best friend or he's my best friend. And what happens is when life gets at you and the bills and the house and the kids and the day to day and the pick them up here and drive them there and do this and we gotta go here and a meeting over here. Work is killing me and times are hard and things like that. And the pandemic, what do we forget? We forget to look at each other and say we are best friends. We forget that we're best friends. All of a sudden, we're at odds. All of a sudden, we're bickering, we're arguing, we're fighting, we're not getting along. And it's like, oh, okay, I get it. You know why? It's because you took care of a lot of the other things. They took precedence. And the one thing you put on the back burner was the relationship that you guys have. And it's that friendship that you got to cultivate. It's the being able to look at him. See, somebody was telling me today that coming in October is Domestic Violence Month. And one of the things that they talked about was how it's increased because of the pandemic and how things got out of hand with the pandemic. And we were just thinking about why that happens. And I was just saying that when couples are together for many years, usually the kids leave the house. When they leave the house, one of two things happens. The couples look at each other and they say, okay, the kids are out of the house. We don't have to be together anymore. We can finish this. Let's get out of here. Let's go our separate ways. Why does that happen? It happens because he looked at her and said, yeah, I don't like the woman. I don't like the woman in you. I'm good. I don't need that. She looked at him and said, "Yeah, that guy that's in you, that the young man, I don't like him anymore. I'm good. Let's move on." Right? The couples that are successful are the ones that said they never lost touch with those that inner man and that inner woman, and they constantly addressed each other in that manner. So that when they were left alone, and it was just them two, they knew they couldn't wait for them to be together. They couldn't wait to be alone. They can't wait for these kids to be out of the house because I want to be with not just my wife, not just their mother. I want to be with my girl, and she's looking at him like I want to be with my boy. You know, and that's the difference. Well, here's what the pandemic did. The pandemic sped up that process because now you spend so much time together that you were forced to look at that part of it and say, "Yo, I don't like this person. I not just don't like him. I can't stand him. Like we're gonna kill each other. This is crazy." And I'm not making there's no excuse for domestic violence, anything like that. What I'm just saying is that it gives you that close proximity where you see the real day to day, like, and you have to deal with the not just like I said, not just the mother, not just the husband or the wife. You have to deal with that inner person that is out there every day with the bad habits, with the things. With I don't like the way they breathe. I don't like the way they chew. I don't like the way they tie their shoes. I can't stand. All of a sudden, you can't stand anything, and that's what the pandemic taught us. The pandemic sped that up. It forced everybody to take a real deep look at the man and woman in each other and make that decision early. Like, are we gonna stay here? Nah, I'm gonna be locked up with you. Hell no, I'm out. Either I'm out or we're gonna kill each other. And that's a lot of what you saw. That's a lot of what you saw, man. You saw people really having to face that. Now, here's the thing. Here's the question: can you get out of the friend zone? I'm gonna tell a little story of one of my favorite stories. To be honest with you, it's a friend of mine that went through it, and it was literally one of my favorite stories. I had a friend, and I call this guy my hero because I just love how it went down for him. I have a friend, a very very good friend, and she's in my sister box. She's in my sister box. Gorgeous girl in my sister box. Therefore, I look at her and I'm like, yeah, nah, not for me, right? Well, she had another friend that I guess was as close as we were, and she thought they had that same relationship. She thought they had that same relationship where it was just brother. That's my brother. He's doing things because I'm his sister. That's what she thought. And she would always tell me, yeah, you and him, you guys have all my secrets. You got all my stories. I tell you everything. Yeah, you guys know everything. Oh my God, you guys. I'm like, I got it. Cool, man. It's dope. Then one day she calls me. She's like, hey, Mike, I need to talk to you. Like, what's up? What happened? She goes, such and such said they're in love with me. I was like, oh shit. And she was so upset. She was hurt. She was upset and hurt. And she was like, I can't even believe this. And she was angry. It was a mixture of angry, upset, hurt. And, when I asked her why, she's like, she felt that deceit. She felt that like, why did he have to lie? Like, he lied to me or no, how dare him? No, that's not fair. That's not right. Plus, she knew him. She knew him well. She knew his circumstances. And she also looked at him like, you know what kind of man I'm looking for. And you know your situation. So how dare you? You know what I'm saying? How dare you? You don't even match my situation. Like, how are you of all people, if you say you know me and you say you care about me, then you're not the standard. You're not doing that for me. And she essentially broke the friendship up. She said, you know what, man? I can't do this. I'm not gonna do this. And she walked away from the friendship. And I remember her telling me how much it bothered her that she walked away from that friendship. It's somebody she really deeply cared about, you know? So she walks away. Flash forward a couple of years, and one of the things that she used to go at him about was his situation. You know what I'm saying? He was still very much living like a boy, and she didn't appreciate that because he knows above anybody else that she was looking for a man. You know, so if he's coming at her, stepping to her like a boy, she's gonna be upset. She's gonna That's not cool. You know, she didn't like that. She's like, how dare him? Well, here's the cool thing. The cool thing is that many years passed, and when he came back around, he had systematically taken care of everything, every box on her list, every box that she needed to check. He just went out there and worked on himself and built himself and put himself in a situation where he checked every single box and he made himself undeniable. He checked every single box, and when everything she thought what she needed as a man, he went out there. He became that. He became that. Now the beauty of it is he became that for himself. He didn't become that for her, right? Because it's not what you do. You don't become a man. You don't work on yourself for a woman. You do it for yourself. And he stepped away and he worked on himself. He put his head down. He just did everything: job, apartment, place to live, looking sharp, car, everything to get on the level. And this time when he came around, he presented himself. And because time had passed, and because he had done the work, he basically came back as a new man. And this time when he presented himself, she didn't see just a friend. She saw what she deserved. She deserved the best friend and a guy who was really worked on himself to become a man. That's what she saw. She looked at him and said, "Oh, you are what I deserve." She didn't hesitate. And he came back and he looked at her and he said, "You're gonna be my wife." And later on they got married. And ladies and gentlemen, that's how you get out of the friend zone. If you're a man, that's how you get out of the friend zone. You have an understanding of what makes her tick, what her checklist is, what she wants from a man. Okay. Now either you can complain about the standard or you can meet the standard. Okay? The only man that complains about the standard is the man that cannot meet it. So you have to look at this person that you're in love with. You got to find out what their criteria is and ask yourself, can I live up to that? And be honest with yourself. And it's okay to say, okay, maybe not. Maybe not right now. Maybe not right now. Take a step off and go work on yourself. You put your head down and you work spiritually, financially, emotionally, mentally, all the leads you can find. You go out there and you work on all of that. And when you do that, now you built yourself up, you become undeniable. So that when you come back, the key is this. The key when you're trying to get out of the friend zone is they have to see you in a different light. If they see you in the same light, in the same context, you don't have a shot in hell. Because you'll always be, oh, just that guy. It's like, hey, it's like if you guys, I know maybe I'm dating myself right now. You ever watch Family Matters when it was Stephen Urkel and then it was Stephon Urkel? You have to come back as Stephon Urkel. You have to make that 180 switch. You have to become the standard. You have to now make sure that, hey, listen, I check all these boxes. And you can't do it catering to her. You can't do it because that's what she wanted. You have to do it because that's what comes natural to you. Because a woman will smell and she'll read right through if it's a fake, if it's BS. She'll read right through it. She'll notice, oh, this guy, he's not really changed. He's not really that guy. He's still my little dorky best friend. So you got to really become that guy. Come back, let a little time pass, and she has to see you in a different light. That's how men get out of the friend zone. You don't get out of the friend zone by being persistent, by being there. Because here's the thing, and when it comes to women, guys will say stuff like, "Why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free?" It's the same thing. Why would I buy the cow if I'm going to get the milk for free? Why would I buy the man, become his woman, be with him if I have access to him and all his emotions whenever I feel like it? I can pick his brain. I can talk to him. I get all the communication that I need. You know what I mean? I get all that. I get all the time. I get all the attention. I get it all whenever I want it. Why would I invest more than I have to? Why would I be more of a friend? Why would I do that? There's no need. There's no need to. I get exactly what I want from you. Why buy the cow? I get the milk for free. You know what I mean? So the key is to stop giving the milk for free. So when she needs you, she cannot have access to you. You have to deny access. When she needs a favor, you can't always be the first one to jump and be there. You cannot. I know it sucks because it's counterintuitive to say you want to be her friend, you want to be her everything, and then not step up when she needs you. But it's the truth. That accessibility to you, that the minute she needs you, the minute she needs something, you're there. The people start to take you for granted. Oh, like you'll always be there. Like in other words, I could go fuck around and mess around and be around and spread my all over the place, my ass all over the place, because he'll always be there. He'll always be there. He's my friend. He'll always be there. And the key is to take away that always. No, I won't. No, I won't. And you got to go and you have to see what your absence means. Let's see what your absence means. You know what I'm saying? And while you're away, because at the same token, you step away and she doesn't miss you, she doesn't care, then no, you there's nothing you could do to get her. But hopefully she misses you. She misses that conversation. She misses that connection. If she does, then by all means, go work on yourself and come back. Because when you come back and step correct. That's what a lot of guys aren't doing. That's if I had to narrow it down. That's what a lot of guys are not doing. A lot of guys in the friend zone just aren't stepping correct. You know what I mean? They're allowing women to walk all over them. They have no backbone. Here's the problem. A woman does not respect a man that doesn't have a backbone. That doesn't make her Gouda wet if you don't have a backbone. If she feels like she could walk all over you. If she feels like when she says jump, you say hi, and she doesn't respect you, you might as well stay in that friend zone forever because you're never getting out. So the key is to understand that you need to establish your respect. You need to establish your respect. You need to establish your boundaries, right? And you have to limit access to you. Limit access, and let her know, hey, look, this is what life is like without me. Isn't it better with me? You know what I mean? And hopefully when you come back and you got your stuff together, she realizes that. It doesn't always work, but that's one of the methods on making sure that you don't stay there. Because there's nothing worse. There's nothing worse than being head over heels for somebody and being stuck. What do you call it, in a friend zone? You know, I wouldn't want it. It's terrible. I'm glad I'm not. I don't experience that stuff. All right, the next part of the show, we are going to go into my inbox. Ladies and gentlemen, man, I have an inbox that's loaded with questions. Everything from I'm single and horny to I'm sad, I can't find a man, to I miss my ex, to yo, how do I get my girl to have a threesome? You name it, it's in my inbox. It's there. And there's a million and one ways, a million and one questions that I want to address. Right. So what I'm doing now is I'm going in and I'm randomly just picking stuff out and looking through, and basically, a lot of it is based on how old the question is. So I want to kind of go to the back and get those questions out early. One of the questions that I found was pretty interesting, so I'm gonna read it for you guys now. He's funny because he goes, "Dear Dime Dropper," he's dropping dimes. Okay, dear Dime Dropper, I want my ex back. I messed up and let her go. I'm mad at myself for waiting till she was done to change. I'm not perfect. I've made my mistakes. If she comes back, things will be different. I wouldn't take her for granted. What can I do to convince her I'm a new man? All right. So, as you know, man, I always say that when you read these, people telling themselves. And here's the thing: my man right here told on himself, and here's where he did it. Number one, he's mad at himself. So already, he did some messed up stuff in the relationship. Waiting until she's done to change her mind. I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect is usually code for I cheated and I'm a cheater. I'm not perfect is usually code word for I'm a cheater. And I've made my mistakes. There's only two times that I think that. When people write, I made my mistakes, I'm not perfect, or when they write something like, we've had our ups and downs. Whenever I see that we've had our ups and downs, I'm like, oh, yeah, one of you guys cheated. Okay, cool, I get it. No big deal. If she comes back, things will be different. Why? Why would they be different? Why would they be different? What have you done? Right. So here's where stuff gets crazy, and here's where I gotta point the finger back at you. Do you love yourself? Have you done the work to look inside yourself? Because these words aren't the words of a man who really understands who he is and where he's at in life. You are trying to tell me that she's the reason you will change, right? Oh, she's the reason. That's not how this works. That's not how it works ever. Men don't change for women. You change because you want to change, because you want to be a better man, because you don't want to repeat mistakes, because you don't want to go back and repeat history. You understand that that hurt people, and you don't want to do that anymore, right? That's why you change. Okay? Nobody believes you that I'm changing for her. You're not. No, 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 no. What happens is you're mad that you got caught. You're upset that you got caught. That's what you're upset about. Because everything that you're writing, everything that you wrote screams that. I'm upset that I got caught. Now here's the deal. The best apology is change behavior. It's change behavior. It's for real. It's legit. Like, I'm sorry, but not just sorry. Look at me. Look, I'm a new person. And sometimes the best way to do that is to give that person time. Now here's the thing. I'm sorry to tell you, man. She didn't just break up with you. She left you about 3 months ago, maybe even 5 months ago. She checked out mentally way before she left. See, a woman checks out mentally 3 to 6 months before she ever walks out the door. That's the time that she's bitching and she's moaning and she's telling you, you need to change. This is wrong. I'm mad. I'm upset. I'm hurt. I'm sad. She's giving you all that emotion. She's telling you all that instruction. She's giving you all that. And you're sitting there on the other end of the conversation, taking her for granted. Yeah, whatever. Oh my God. What? You think I cheat? You think I cheat? Oh, no, I don't. Oh, come on. You're arguing with her, calling her a liar, bullshit, and playing the game and the dance. And hey, look how cute I am that I can get away with, and all that bullshit. Well, guess what's happening? Little by little, that emotional door that's been open to you is slowly closing. As a matter of fact, you're closing it. You're slowly closing it, inch by inch. It doesn't close right away. It doesn't slam shut. You close it inch by inch with every lie, with every deception, with every hurt that you give her. That emotional door closes, and once it's closed and it's locked, bye bye. You don't have the key. You don't have the key to that door. Her emotional door is closed. That's it. She gave you the opportunity to open it. That whole time, she gave you, she was telling you. I always tell men, guys, don't fear the noise. Don't fear the bitching and the moaning. Fear the silence. Fear the silence. How many times do I have to say this, ladies and gentlemen? This is the Hope for Romantic M.A.N. podcast. This is my thing. This is my thing. You're not going to hear this anywhere else. For a woman, communication equals love. For a man, vulnerability equals love. What does it mean when for a woman, communication equals love? It means that you're her sounding board. You're who she goes to. You're who she vents to, right? You're who she communicates with. You're who she tells, yes, no, I'm happy, I'm sad. She gives you every emotion. I know a lot of times you're exhausted, you're tired, you don't want to hear it. Consider it a poorly wrapped compliment. Because she's telling you I love you. Because she can go to her sister, she can go to her friends, she can go to anybody. But she goes to you. Why did she go to you? Because you're the man that she loves. A woman communicates with the man that she loves. That's why you'll see it, right? She'll tell you, you need to change. You need to come home on time. You need to, all these women, I can't take this. And, are you cheating on me? I don't like the secrecy and I don't like the way you're moving. And she's telling you, no, look, you don't understand. I need you to change. I need you to change. I need you to change. And it falls on deaf ears. And you ignore her. And you ignore her. Oh, and you dismiss her. That's what you really do. Oh, stop. Oh, my God. Yo, why? Oh, my God. Yo, stop it, yo, man. Knock it off. Yo, this is crazy. Oh, da, 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 da. All that bullshit, right? And in that meantime, what you didn't realize is that she was literally giving you instructions on how to keep her. She was giving you the instructions on how to keep her, telling you word for word and motion for motion on how to keep her. And then one day she just stopped. She said, I'm all thought out. That's it. I'm going to close this emotional door. Boop, and put a lock on it. Throw away the key. That's it. It's done. She went quiet. Now you'll notice that'll happen for a couple of weeks. It'll happen for a little while. And then she'll leave. And she'll be like, yo, you know what? I can't do this anymore. It's over. Right? So while you're sitting there and you're wondering what happened, oh, how come she left me? I can't believe this, da 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 da. If we retrace the steps and we reverse engineer the relationship, we can go back and we can go to significant points in the relationship where she told you it was over. Where she was telling you you're losing me. She was telling you and warning you, hey, listen, this isn't gonna last forever for me. I'm out. I got one foot out the door. And you chose to ignore it. I'll never understand why a man rather fix the dent in the car than work on the brakes in a relationship. Why are we so reactive and not proactive? Why is it that when she's telling us what's going on and telling us how she's feeling, instead of stopping and saying, okay, you know what? Let me put my awareness on this and let me work on it. Let me work on this, exactly what you're saying. Why instead we get resentful, we get upset, we get, oh, she's bitching again, oh man, oh God, again, and we get the whole smacking the lips and I can't believe this shit. And then when she's gone, what happens to us? We end up crying in our pillows because we miss our baby. But what happened? She told you. She told you all along. She gave you hints. She let you know. She dropped it. So this letter that you're sending me now, I'm like, you're going to tell me that you didn't read? You didn't read through the lines? And I'm going to tell you something else. I don't think you want her back now. A lot of times you want your ex back, but the truth is, you don't know them anymore. Even a couple of weeks out, I'll never forget Drake has that song, My Hotline Bling. He talks about how now you're partying with someone else. Now you're hanging out with girls I'd never seen before. You know what I mean? And it's the truth. The truth is you don't know these people anymore. This girl that you're still in love with, that you want back, it's like looking out into space, right? You see a star. You see how beautiful and shiny that star is, right? And you're like, man, I love that star. I want that star. That's my star. And then as the star approaches you, right, it disappears because it's gone. The star that you're looking at is looking into the past. That's what it used to be. And then you want that star today, and that star is gone. It died a long time ago. You know what I mean? And that's what happens. So this whole thing about, now I'm not saying you can't ever get her back. Time heals a lot of wounds, and it fixes things, and it has you look at people in different perspectives, and it allows you, to change your mind. I'm not saying that, but partner, it just feels like the first things first. Instead of getting her back, why don't we take a step back and work on the man that you are? I mean, I hate to do it this way, but I literally just wrote a book about it. Shallow River to Deep Ocean. A man's guide to understanding his woman by first understanding himself. You could benefit from that book because you need to understand yourself. You need to understand what you were giving this woman. Did you love her to the best of your ability? Yeah, you might say yes. Yeah, I loved her with all my heart. But do you even know what all your heart means? Do you know what all your heart means? That's what I need to know. Because what are you capable of loving? Are you capable of loving someone at the level that they need to be loved? Or are you coming up short? That's what I need to know. Because it'd be real easy to sit here and tell you, or you be sit here and tell me, oh, but I love her and she's but I have to examine you. I have to look at you based on what you're writing, right? And I'm reading through the lines, between the lines, and I can tell that you said it yourself. I made mistakes. I'm not perfect, and usually that only means a couple of things. I promise you, it only means a couple of things. It either means I cheated or I was abusive. All right, and I'm going to assume that you wrote this because you cheated. That's where I'm going to assume it came from. I'm going to assume you wrote this because you cheated, and either you got caught or she just finally had enough of looking the other way. And my thing with this letter is, what are you doing to change for yourself? Why do you want to change? Because let's be honest with you. Let's be honest. You might be perfectly okay with who you are. You might love who you are. You might absolutely love everything you go through. Like, I actually like being a player, right? You might. And if that's the case, don't bullshit her. Don't do that. Don't use her as a pawn in your web. That's not cool. If you say you love her, you know what I mean? Be honest. Be honest with yourself. Understand who you are. You know what I'm saying? If indeed you are ready for love, if indeed you are ready to be in a relationship, that's different. That's very different. Now, what's the work? The work is, okay, let me make sure that, my chips are in order. Let me make sure that I could come to her correct and bring something to the table. Let me bring something to the table for her. Let me make sure that either I could be a provider or a nurturer. Let me make sure that I can step up. You know what I mean? And if you can, then that's different. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times you're full of shit, man. I gotta call a spade, bro. A lot of times you're full of shit. A lot of times you're telling me that you want to change. You're telling me you want to do all this stuff, and all you're doing is trying to figure out a way to get her back into the situation you were just in. You liked it. That's what I think happened. I think you liked the situation that you were in. The situation you were in was you had a girl that was there that tolerated your bullshit, and you're trying to figure out, how do I get back this girl that tolerated my bullshit? Obviously, she's gone, and she's gone forever. Because when a good girl's gone, she's gone forever, my man. She's gone. That old putting up with your stuff, you broke her, so she's gone. You know, I wouldn't go down that route. Just leave that alone. Leave that alone. That's not gonna work. I know maybe you didn't get the answer that you were hoping to get from me, especially because of the way you tried to code what you were trying to say. And I hate to be so harsh with you, but I need to be honest on what I see, on what information I get. You know what I mean? I can't sit here and bullshit you. The key is honesty, so you could actually get some resolution. But that's just what it is. You know, I can't wait for next month. I got a really cool show that I'm trying to line up. I've been working on a project called Joy Comes in the Morning. Right? It is Joy Comes in the Morning. It's the Joy Comes in the Morning. Uh, it's Joy Comes in the Morning. The story of Jasenia. A rise of a woman from victim to victor. That's what it is. A rise of a woman from victim to victor. It's a book I'm writing with a social media influencer. She's a very popular girl. You guys should check her out. She goes by I am Jasenia on Instagram. Very sweet, awesome, awesome, amazing person. Amazing person. You know, um, I got to know her story, and it's so funny how we got together. Initially, I put out a bulletin requesting to write a book with a partner. I wanted a partner to write a book. It's two sides to the same coin. It's a book from a male perspective and a female perspective on the same events, and we would basically tell the entire story, the book through the entire story of the relationship from two sides, and that's what the book, how the book would go. And I put that out there, and a friend of mine said, "Hey, listen, I have a friend. She wants to write a book. She's been trying to get into writing a book, and she really wants to get in the field." Da, da, da. So he told me she was. I looked her up a little bit, and then I was like, "All right, cool. Let me." She actually reached out to me, and I got to talking to her. And after talking to her and understanding who she is and what her story was, I went to bed that night and I woke up and I said, let me hit her up, man, because I I need to ask her something. So I reached out to her and I go, hey, listen, I have a feeling that my book, the book that I want to write, is not the book that's in your heart. But here, this is a suggestion that I have, and I laid out my idea for a book about her, and she was all in. She loved it, and she absolutely was like yes, and we agreed, and we got together, and now we meet twice a week, and we go over her story, her life story, and we're writing it out. Now, it's. I wanted to start promoting this book. It's not done yet. It will be in the coming months, but I didn't think there was a better time to really start rolling it out than next week. Next week's the real like the day I'm going to start rolling it out. I'm going to start putting out advertisements and promotions for the book because it's Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and she went through some horrible, horrible traumas with domestic violence, and it's crazy because people see her and she's beautiful and she was on top of the world and she had it all together, and people had no idea the drama and the torture she was going through behind the scenes and everything she was experiencing. And it's a story of a girl, it gives you a little background on who she is and why she is the way she is, and it puts you through different scenarios on how she handled it as an adult and how she literally just rose through the ashes to overcome a lot of what she's been through. And it's a fantastic story, and especially with Domestic Violence Awareness Month, I would love to just start putting it out there, and I'm hoping to get her on the show so that we can talk to the audience and she can talk and share her story, because I think everybody out there, there's probably somebody out there right now that could benefit from hearing it, her testimony, and maybe give them a hope that their situation is going to get better. Maybe give them hope that there's a way out in their situation. I also have some people that are working directly with domestic violence, um, and I would love to get them on. They're a little camera shy and a little microphone shy, so I don't know if they'll do it. But especially with next month, I want to dedicate it. That's what I really want to do. I want to dedicate the entire month to domestic violence. You don't realize how rampant it is. You don't realize how many people right in front of you, how many friends that you know are suffering in silence at home. You don't know how many people that are hugging on Facebook and kissing in their profile pictures are getting the shit beat out of them at home for no reason. You know what I'm saying? They say, I heard a stat that drove me crazy, man. It says that a victim, it takes them 8 tries before they can get away from their abuser. And I want to dive into that. I want to find out more why. What's that about? Where does the connection come from? Why does that happen? But I think that only people who have been through it, only people that have worked closely with women that have been through it, can answer that question. It's not something that I can answer. But I'm fascinated and I've dedicated next month to really just doing my part to try to help where I can, you know, just help where I can, There's these shelters and there's these different resources where next month during every show, I'm going to be posting resources, phone numbers, advocacy groups, lawyers that deal and specialize in these matters, putting them down below so that people have access to this information. Because I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, this is crazy. You guys have no idea how your neighbor, you have no idea how the couple that you hang out with every weekend that looks like they have it together, that looks like they have it all, money, cars, and everything, and this woman's getting her brains beat in every night, or she's getting brutalized in the bedroom because he's forcing her to have sex. You know what I mean? There's so much going on, and I just want to put a spotlight on it, and I hope that it helps somebody, and it really it's especially the testimony. It lets you know that things do get better. Joy does come in the morning. Joy comes in the morning. The grace of God comes in the morning. You know what I'm saying? My mom used to say, "Abre la ventana para que entre la gracia de Dios." And that means open the windows, open the shades, so that the glory of God could come in the house. She meant the light, so the light could come in, so the joy, because joy comes in the morning. You know, and I'm really excited about where this book is going. I'm excited about the partnership that we have going on. I'm really excited about it. So, yeah, that's coming up next month, man. It's going to be all about domestic violence, and I hope that we have some interesting conversation. I'm hoping that the guests that I can get the guests that I want on to really share their testimony, so maybe we can help some people. And like I said, I'm going to be posting a lot of the shelters and the places you can go and the phone numbers that people for people that get help. Ladies and gentlemen, they say the 2 most important days in your life are the day you're born and the day you discover why. This has been the Hopeful Romantic M.A.N podcast. I'm your host, Dropping Dimes, a.k.a. the Hopeful Romantic, a.k.a. the Feminist with chauvinist tendencies. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you once again for helping me walk in my why. Have a good one, ladies and gentlemen. Good night.